Good morning, everybody. Come on, good morning, everybody. I know it's Saturday morning. It's a beautiful morning. The sun is out. It's a little brisk, but it's warming up. And we are happy to be woken up today, happy to have this great Saturday morning. Does everybody agree? Great. My name is Michelle Cooley. I am the wife of the president and CEO of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley. I want to thank all of you for coming out today to support us. We have a great program. We have singers. We have inspirational speakers. We have a keynote speaker. We have a youth guest speaker. And we just have a lot of excitement, a lot of information ahead for this program. So without any further ado, I want to introduce you to the founder, president, CEO of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, my husband, James Cooley.
Thank you very much. How everybody doing? Come on, you know what, I'm trying something different today, and I don't know if I made a mistake. I wanted to kind of do this outside a little bit. But I believe in about 5 or 10 minutes it's going to start getting warm out here. I did say out here. You know, first of all, before we start anything, I always got to open up and let everybody know. Have anybody told you today, look around at each other, have anybody told you today that you're loved and appreciated? If no one has told you that, I want to be the first one to let you know that you are loved and appreciated. But I want you to turn around and tell your neighbor that they are loved and appreciated as well. Can we do that? Loved and appreciated. Loved and appreciated. Loved and appreciated. Loved and appreciated. Another thing I want to talk about just a little bit before we start is that when we wake up, sometimes we don't always feel that, you know, we woke up as happy as we can be. And there's a little saying out there saying, I think I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. My thing is, what is the wrong side of the bed? When we wake up, we should have that joy in our heart that the good Lord allowed us to be here today. So we should be enthusiastic about everything. From the time we get up in the morning to the time we lay our head down and get up again. So that's what this is about. My program is about love and appreciation, and it's about this major thing called respect. Respect. So we got a great program in store for you all, and I just want everybody to sit back. We're going to start this off with this young lady. I tell you, this young lady is so fantastic, in my opinion. And I know you guys are going to feel the same way. She's in the 10th grade. She was so fantastic, I wrote her in my upcoming play. And we'll talk about that one a little bit later on. But we're just going to do a little bit of her talent right now. We're going to have her to come up and sing a couple of songs without any further delays. Salona Husband. Let's put our hands together, bring it to the stage. Let's see. Where we at? Here we go. Yeah, that's it. I forgot, she is from Temecula Valley High School. Temecula Valley High School. Need this?
Yeah. Can you press play when, yeah. chances. Some got choices. Some got freedom in these states. Colored woman got a few chances, got a few choices on our plates. Mama told me there are limits than dark-skinned girls stuck in this light-skinned world. Once in a while, I lose myself in dreams. A silly girl full of silly schemes. Now comes along a man whose skin is white and pale, a shining fool full of shiny chairs. He says he'll make the people hear me. He'll force this world to finally see me. Is he a lie like every other man? Oh Lord, could he somehow, oh, could he somehow help to free me? Mama told me not to dream big, but Mama lived her life running scared. I'm stronger, and I'll fight longer. I'll do what Mama never even did. Colored woman with the huge chances has to do what she must do, and I will make my colored dreams come true. For this is one colored woman who will color her life her way. Thank you.
Wow. Hey, are you guys wild like I am? Hey, you know what? She only showed you a little bit. I mean, like, tiny bit. But you know what? In our program, all of our kids are amazing. They're amazing. They are the future leaders of tomorrow. So, thanks so much. I'd like to bring to the stage. I've been knowing this guy for over 20 years. He's an amazing guy. And sometimes tried to keep me focused, always. He's an amazing guy. He is the vice president of the J.C. Cooley Foundation. Without any further ado, Charles Golden.
Good morning, everybody. Everybody warming up a little bit now? Before we get any further, let's give Miss Sloan another hand, a round of applause. I'm a little biased, but because she's doing great things. She's helping us out. She's doing great things. She was featured in our first play. We're doing the play again. And if you see the flyers up here, we are redoing the play, and she is our featured singer once again. You just see a little bit of her talent that she has, and you come to the play, and you'll see a whole lot more. Excuse me? Oh, yes, please. The play is going to be on May 6th at the Temecula Rec Center. Please get your ticket, come early, get a real good seat. Just a little bit about the play. The play is set in the early 40s, back when segregation had not quite set its foot yet. It's a strong period piece. African Americans are still struggling for their place in the world, and it shows how even today, this was the onset of the, as you all know, the Me Too movement. This play also is one of the foundations of what brought the Me Too movement forward. If I could get Miss Salone to come up one more time, she will give you a small excerpt of one of the scenes in the play. Miss Salone, can I get you to come up, please?
This is watch this scene. She's amazing. This is number 2 talent, little bit number 2.
Okay. So this is one of the monologues from The Lynching of Effie Childs. And Effie, which I don't play her, but she's a very important part of the story. And she's telling a story about her and her husband and one of the altercations she's had with him. I was a good wife, and I was gonna let my life be opened up to rumors. So I got me a Greyhound ticket, and I rode all night. When I got to Charlotte, I went to his mama's house. Now, he ain't never seen it coming. I knocked on that door, and he opened it, smiling, like he seen me the day before. I looked on past him, and his mama told me to come on in. So I came on in. But Henry didn't want me getting too comfortable. So he took me out on a late night drive. And I guess he thought the moonlight and the cool air was going to be enough to sweet talk me. But when he stopped that car, I looked at him and I said, "You done sold my life, Henry Childs, in the worst way. You're sleeping around with all types of women, spending up all the money, and leaving me the way you did." He just looked at me. He didn't say a word. He just got out his car and lit his cigarette. Now, Henry was always real satisfied with himself. Well, I got out that car, and I walked to where he was, and I said, "You ain't never loved me." He said, "You right, Effie? I ain't never loved you. There was times you was more of a man than I was. Just didn't have enough woman in you for me." And I looked at him, and I could just not stop thinking, this man that I loved and cared for, and for him to say I wasn't enough of a woman for him. I opened up my bag. I pulled out my revolver. And I said, "Maybe not having enough man is what kept you from me." He turned around and started running, and I shot him 2 times. I heard his body fall. I packed my bag, walked to his car, dropped it off at the bus station, and I went on home.
Let's give her another round of applause. That's just a small excerpt from the play. If you want to see more, please get your tickets and come early. You fall? You silly. Oh, and yes, if you look at the flyer, she's a special guest singer, but I am also one of the actors. And James is asking me to do one of the monologues that he kind of loves to see me do. And one of it is to say, as we're sitting at the table, we're discussing how folks understand each other. And it goes a little something like this. White folks ain't scared of no roots. They ain't got no soul you need to be messing with. My daddy used to visit a root woman over in Phoenix City by the name of Aunt Prince. He woke up one morning with a rash so bad, he didn't recognize himself. Rash came out of nowhere. Well, Aunt Prince told my daddy that what he had was the curse of a scorned woman. And she told him, Only roots can cure a curse like that. Well, she gave him something for it. And when he woke up the next morning, he was healed. I found the whole thing quite peculiar. Now, if you ask me, ain't Prince put that curse on my daddy because he kept coming around her place and he didn't like her. That's one of James's favorite parts, by the way.
As you see, the J.C. Cooley Foundation, we do a lot of things. And we did, the 24th of March, we debuted this play. And I'm going to be honest with you. We sold 100 tickets. I am thinking maybe 60 or 70 people going to show up. 10 minutes before we opened the door, I looked out. It was 80 people out there. And we had to revamp because the place only holds 75. So we got everybody in there, got them comfortable, seated. And I looked outside the door. It was another 80 people out there. and the play is amazing. Everything went extremely well, so that was a major demand that we do this again. And not only do we do plays with adults, and you miss them, we do kids. We try to get everybody involved. We got a little something for everybody. So that's, if you get an opportunity, if you want to do that, tickets are there. But we're going to continue with the program. I think breakfast should be almost ready. And I'm not 100% sure yet. But breakfast is ready. Before we even do anything, I want to invite a very good friend of mine up here to kind of lead us in a little prayer before breakfast. This is not a religion program, so you do what you have to do. But me and my wife, we are Christians. And, do what you have to do to your superior maker. But without any further, Charles Pergy. Pastor Charles is what I call him.
Let us all stand. Bow your heads. Father God, we just thank you for a day of motivation and inspiration, oh Lord. Father God, we ask that you would bless each and every person here on this morning, Lord God. Father God, bless the hands that prepared the meal on today, Lord God. And Father God, we just pray that it's nutritious for our bodies. In the name of Jesus Christ, we pray. And everybody said, amen.
Ladies first. So breakfast is on the inside. All the ladies are first. So if you can get up and just get your plate and come back.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Is everyone enjoying their breakfast? Do you feel a little bit warm? No? Okay, just think warm. Just think Arizona weather. If you ever been to Arizona, it's really hot there. But I'm glad everyone enjoyed breakfast. We got a lot of things going on in our program for the remainder of this time. So right now, I want to introduce you to a man who has become a friend to us. He's a great businessman. And I'm going to introduce you. His name is William Bill Briscoe.
I'd like to say good morning. Yes, good morning. Now, when I say something that you can identify with, someone like the founder and CEO of this foundation, I want you to say, yes. Let's try it. The founder and the CEO of this foundation. Oh, you got to do better than that. Come on. The founder and CEO of this foundation. All right, there you go. Let me just give you a little background on this gentleman right here. I am the founder and CEO of a company called Accelerated Contracting, LLC. My office is stationed in Los Angeles. I've been an entrepreneur all my life. I was invited to an event which was already brought to your attention, the play that this organization put together. Mr. Cooley was talking about how that he had 80 folks that was coming in the door and 80 on the outside wanted to come in. What excited me and what motivated me to be a part of this phenomena here is that I watched him kept the smile on everyone's face in there, even though it was a little chaotic, trying to get everybody seated, because it would only hold, I believe, about 80, and we got a total of 120 people in there. My wife and I had been there many times with situations like this. We immediately jumped up to help him, and I just fell in love with this guy. So I wanted to be the one to introduce him to you. So here's what I want to say to you. I want to say to you that this gentleman is not only a humanitarian, but he's a philanthropist. What that simply means is that he goes in his pocket and he dedicates his time, his money to help individuals that are sitting here. And he does it with his passion. Okay? So without further ado, I want to introduce you to a heck of a guy who wants to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that he's here for you. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the CEO and founder of the CEO and founder of J.C. Cooley Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, J.C. Cooley.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I believe that we should be warming up in here by now, right? And we're not afraid of a little cold. Hey, thanks so much. Hey, before I go into my message, you see all the folks around with the J.C. Cooley T-shirts on. These folks are interns in my program. We have a contract with USC for the graduates. That means they already graduated from college and they're doing their master's, or in this case, a doctoral, and they're part of the J.C. Cooley Foundation. Let's put our hands together for all of my interns. Please stand up, interns. Stand up. Stand up so people. So they're doing a terrific job, and Dr. Combs did not stand up, but Doc, can you? Will be Dr. Combs. Hey, thanks so much. Today, I want to talk to you all about something that I believe that we all must take in, and we all must understand. I just finished teaching a camp up in Lake Arrowhead, and it was called the RILA, which stands for Rotarians Youth Leadership Academy. And I have two other students that was in attendance at the academy here right now. Can you stand up? Right now. Three. Oh, three. What a third? Oh, I'm sorry. Three. And you know what? Let me tell you something about it. It is very, very difficult to get selected for something like this. We only choose the cream of the crop. They have to go through a rigorous interview process. And this year, I think it was about 10,000 applicants. And we only had 613 that was selected for that program. And this is the biggest Ryler camp in the world. The world. And you're looking at 3 of the top leaders of the camp. This young man right here, well, first of all, the camp is only for juniors only. But if you go through the junior portion, you can come back as a senior and be an alumni and help teach the camp. The 2 juniors are both incredible. Well, all of them, actually. I just gave her a scholarship this past week. Yeah, so it is true. So we give out about 30 scholarships a year, depending on our donations and sponsors and this and that. So I want to congratulate each and every one of them because my message is kind of geared on what it takes to be a leader. Sit down. My message today, I got a good friend of mine named John T. He's one of the speakers at the camp. And I believe I will be one of them next year. I spoke a little bit this time, and I spoke last year. But I want to talk to you guys about what we call the ACE program. ACE program. And ACE stands for, what it stands for, Courtney? What's the first letter?
Enthusiasm.
Say it one more time, louder.
Attitude. Commitment.
Enthusiasm. Enthusiasm.
Attitude.
Attitude.
Commitment. Enthusiasm.
So ACE stands for attitude, commitment, and enthusiasm. Just like I mentioned to you this morning, when you wake up and say, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, there is no such thing as waking up on the wrong side of the bed. Let's talk about the A, attitude. Attitude. I tell you, attitude will make or break you. Literally, make or break you. A lot of times, we are confronted with things or in situations, and we often react because we're not, for one thing, walking around with the right attitude where we get an opportunity to think. Now, attitude, when I say react, I'm going to tell you, it's a word that got the exact same letters. And I want everybody to pay attention to this. Got the exact same letters in it, but it means 2 different things. And by knowing this, I think it's going to make each and every last one of us a better person. Those 2 words, the exact same letters, are reacting and K-Man. What's the other one? Creating. That was one of mine this past weekend. Reacting and creating. Same exact letters. Look it up. Let me tell you the difference between those. When you're confronted with a situation, say somebody bump into you or whatever that might be, most of the time, the first thing, depending on where you're at with your attitude, you want to react. You want to hit. You want to say something. You want to do the first thing that come to your mind. Most of the time, if you look at the prisons, you look at the detentions, you look at foster home, look at all of these things. Most of the people that are there made a mistake because they reacted. Let's get in our mind to think about the things that we do. Reacting will cause you to get in trouble. Now, I'm the type of person I learned over the years that, and yeah, I tell you, becoming older also increased wisdom. I learned over the years that instead of reacting to a lot of things, we all have this split second where we can think about it. Somebody bump into you or said something, we can think about it. One split second, and guess what? You go from one option to 6 options or 7 or 8 in that split second. Well, you can sit back and say, oh, okay, maybe they didn't mean to do this, maybe they did. But regardless what it is, I'm going to be bigger than that. Because, first of all, I went to one of the J.C. Cooley Foundations. He told me that I need to dream big, think big, and be big. Be big is not in statue. It's in heart and it's in mind. You don't always have to react when you're confronted with a negative situation. Think about it. Create. So, reacting and creating is all about the attitude. It's all about the attitude. I once read that 95% of the things that we encounter, we have a choice or a decision based on our attitude. 5% of the things that we encounter, well, hey, we ain't got nothing to do with that one. That's life. But 95% of the things that happen to you, if you sit back and just remember what I just said, the reacting and the creating, I believe that most of that 95% would be a positive results. Everybody with me on that? Everybody with me on that? Let me talk about the C in ACE. The C stands for commitment. What does the C stand for? Commitment. What does the C stand for? Commitment. Let me tell you about commitment. Commitment falls under what I call the J.C. Cooley HIE. HIE stands for integrity, honesty, integrity, and ethics. Honesty, integrity, and ethics. Meaning, in order to be committed to anything, you must be committed to yourself. And what I mean by committed to yourself, you must be committed to you telling the truth, you being honest with yourself, regardless what it is. Regardless what it is. And being honest with yourself, we got this thing called birthrights. Birthrights. Birthright stands for, I'm going to tell you, your birthrights are confidence, courage, hope, belief, and most importantly, faith. When you committed to something, you think of these birthrights because they will put you in the frame mind that, hey, we all are created equal. There is no one better than another person, regardless of whether you're black, white, green, purple, or whatever that might be. We all bleed the same. And so we have to be honest with ourselves, especially when we are committed to doing the right things. So, in being honest with yourself, you have to learn to know yourself. You have to learn to know yourself. Everything about you. Everything about you. Good, bad, and indifferent. So that means you have to have a day with yourself and get a chance to identify the pros, the cons, the good, the bad. That's you. And once you do those things, you have to accept those things. Accept that this is who I am. This is who I am. And once you accept those things, you got to love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you was born to be. Love me some me. Love me some me. So you accept these things. You commit that this is who I am. This is what the Lord made me to be. And you know, I do not care what anybody think or say about me. I do not care. This is who I am. Then you commit to being the best you that you can be. If you give somebody your word, the integrity portion of it, I'm going back to the HIE, I didn't forget. The integrity portion. If you tell somebody you're going to do something, do it. If you ain't going to do it, don't tell nobody you're going to do anything. You know, keep your word, integrity. The minute you lose integrity, you lose you. People will not believe anything that you say if you lose integrity. So if you say you're going to do something, do it. If you're not going to do it, don't say it. In my program, we do everything 100%. We do it big, or we don't do it at all. We do it big, or we don't do it at all. Ain't no sense in doing it if you're going to go in there and not being committed to doing the best that you can do. The E stands for, in this sense, HIE. The E stands for ethics. We all have rules and regulations that we have to abide by. We all have rules and regulations that we have to abide by. However, when you talking birthrights, you talking yourself, you got to set, it's just like driving. They said don't travel faster than 55 miles an hour. Now, you know, I'm going to tell you that I've been guilty of that probably about 1,000,000 times. But we should always try to stay in the limit. But ethics is, I believe that you set a higher standard for yourself, higher than what the regular norms are. And you try to reach that goal every time. Ethics. And by doing that, that means ethical standards. That means, keeping your word. That means being honest. That means doing what you're supposed to do when no one else is around. Doing what you're supposed to do when no one else is around. Oh, they ain't gonna see me. I can change. Hold on. You know that you just did. You know what you just did. You saw yourself. So, commitment is what we were talking about. Let's talk about enthusiasm. The final segment in the ACE. Enthusiasm, just like I mentioned to you, is being excited. Just being excited just because you was able to wake up this morning. I'm excited. I woke up. The good Lord gave me another day. I'm happy. That's what I'm happy about it, and I'm gonna walk around. I cannot be walking around mad at the world or pissed off about something. Or mommy wouldn't let me do that. Daddy say they did all these things. I'm just so. Come on. Don't nobody care about you being mad. You should. Mad for you wasting energy in a negative side and negative situation. Put that energy toward a positive thing. Just like Michelle Obama said, when they swing low, you what? You don't have to always swing low. You don't have to always get mad at mommy and daddy, your friends, and this and that, but because this ain't going my way. I'm mad. No. Be excited about everything that you do. Be excited in your heart. Live on this thing, what I call the 4 C's. The 4 C's. Who in here know the 4 C's? Not you. Anybody else know the 4 C's? K-Man, you know what the 4 C's are? Come here, K. Come here, K. You better know what the 4 C's are.
We have create, we have collaborate, and you commit.
With what?
Confidence. There we go.
Say it again.
Create, collaborate, and commit with confidence.
Wow. It's one weekend and he create, collaborate, commit with what? Confidence. Commit with what? Confidence. In everything that you do. You have to be excited. You have to follow the ACE program. ACE stands for what? Oh, come on now. Come on. I've been up here for 15, 20 minutes, and you guys don't remember what I said? Oh. One more time. Attitude, commitment, and enthusiasm. Everybody with me. So I believe, in closing this out, I believe that we follow the ACE program. We wake up with the right attitude with everything that we do. And when we wake up with the right attitude, we go back to our birthrights. What's the birthrights are? Confidence, courage, hope, belief. Most importantly, what? And by doing that, that leads us to the commitment side of us. And then we have to be excited about everything that we do. And that's that word, I forgot what it is. It's in what? Is that the best that we can do? Enthusiasm. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah. I want to bring this young lady up here. She's been a part of my team, and I'm part of her team for the last, I think, 3.5 years, 4 years. Our team consists of, and you're going to talk to her in a minute, Mrs. Stacy Gilliard, Sugar Ray Leonard Jr., myself, and right now we just added a new member of our team, my singer that you guys saw in here. Normally we do high schools, 3,000-4,000 people at a time. We bring it, but this young lady is getting ready to come and bring it to you right now. Without any further delay, a vital part of the J.C. Cooley team, Stacy Gilliard.
Love you, love you, love you. Hey, good morning, everybody. First off, I just want to say thank you so much, family, for making me feel so welcome today. And I want to say, Linda and Ashanti, it was such an awesome honor to meet you ladies today. And I want to say everybody's had some amazing, beautiful smiles today. Good morning, everyone. My name is Stacy Gilliard. I am the CEO, pastor, and motivational speaker of I Am the Generation. I'm also part of the J.C. Cooley family. And I'm also a student venture advisor for 2 high schools and 1 middle school. It's Heritage High School, Bell Mountain Middle School, and right here in Temecula, Chaparral High School. So humbled to be here today with my beautiful dear friends, James and Michelle Cooley, who are also my family. Thank you so much for having me back. It's always an honor. Well, everyone, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but this is April 28th, and it's actually the 11th annual International Pay It Forward Day. So I don't know if you guys know that. Yeah. Last year, there was 17 million documented acts of kindness. Now, over 80 countries are participating in Pay It Forward Day with over 100 state and city proclamations. Pay It Forward Day is a global initiative that exists to make a difference by creating a huge ripple of kindness felt across the world. Of course, their hope is that people pay kindness forward every day and make each day that little bit brighter. They believe that small acts of kindness, when multiplied by millions of people, can literally change the world for the better. And on today, April 28th, they're going to set out to prove it. So for this year's International Pay It Forward Day, they are aiming to inspire over 10 million acts of kindness around the world. So imagine what kind of difference that can really make. Well, my favorite thing that I love and live to teach about, it's so perfect that this is Pay It Forward Day, because this is what I love to teach about consistently, is living a life of kindness. Honestly, kindness is the most underrated character trait that we can offer to this world. It really makes a powerful impact in this world. And the crazy part about it is, are you guys ready for this? It's free. I mean, it's free to be kind. It's so easy to be kind. It's like ridiculously easy. Like, you are so beautiful today. You have a gorgeous smile. You're beautiful yourself right there. I'm sure you're brilliant and amazing as well. I mean, it's just so easy to encourage someone, to empower someone, to love on someone, and it's free. It doesn't cost anything to empower people. It just doesn't. It's so easy. You could easily say to someone, you look amazing. And honestly, in a world of insecurity, because right now the insecurity level is so high with social media, it just makes everybody feel like they're never enough when they're comparing their lives to other people and the way other people look. To hear from somebody that you look amazing can change a person's life. I don't know if you guys realize that. It really can. And it's so easy to say. It's just like, you look amazing. Like, it's so easy to say. And I mean it. And it's so unbelievable when you can hear that from somebody and feel, you might not feel your best that day. And when someone says that to you, you're like, I needed to hear that. Like, thank you so much. Like, that meant so much to me. You just have no idea how really you can impact and change a life by saying kind things. You could smile at anybody that passes you by. Did you know that I have had the humble honor of hearing amazing testimonies about how people have gotten hope from just seeing someone smile. I've heard phenomenal testimonies of people who said, they felt like, just really down and depressed. And when someone smiled at them, it cheered them up and gave them hope again. It's crazy how a smile can change a life. Or you could give encouraging words to someone. This is my favorite testimony to give. I've said it before here at the J.C. Cooley Foundation. But a famous pastor who was minding his own business in a restaurant had just finished his meal and was about to pay his check and leave. God spoke to him and said, I need you to go speak to that man. The man was sitting there at the table. He had a 3-piece suit on. He looked amazing. He looked like he was happy. He had everything together. There was nothing wrong with him. But God was like, I need you to speak to that guy. And he's like, the pastor was like, he looks great. I feel like, it would be awkward if I went and talked to him. I really, he looks good. He looks like he's got everything together. I really don't think I need to talk to him. And God was like, I need you to go and talk to him now. So, of course, he was a bit frustrated, but the pastor got up. He was, really concerned about looking foolish, but he knew he needed to honor God, so he was obedient. And he walked over to the good-looking guy. The pastor was led by the Holy Spirit to say, good morning. God has great things in store for you. God bless. That was it. Simple. It wasn't a lot of words. It wasn't some famous speech or amazing sermon or an amazing message or this long drawn out thing. It was just short, sweet, and simple. That was it. So the pastor left the restaurant, and then 2 years later, at this pastor's church, a man walks up to him with his wife and child. He says, I want to thank you for saving my life 2 years ago. You see, I was sitting at a table in a restaurant contemplating suicide. I had just lost my wife, my children, and my job. I had nothing left to live for, no hope and no purpose left on this earth. I was about to end my life. I told God that morning that he needed to give me just an ounce of hope, or I was going to give up and end my life. Then you walked up to me out of the blue with your encouraging words that gave me hope and let me know that my life still had purpose. Those words changed my life. And now I have a new career, a beautiful wife, a precious daughter, and a new amazing life, all thanks to you speaking into my life that day. There are no words to say thank you, but thank you. You see, simple words can empower you, they can encourage you, they can give you hope, and they can even save a life. And it's free. It's free to just encourage somebody, to empower somebody, to love on somebody, to give hope to somebody, to bring light to somebody. It's free. Or you can empower others by just being an encouraging listening ear. Just listening can be an actual art form. I don't know if you guys realize this. Because sometimes when you listen to others, you're just waiting to give them a response. You're waiting to answer back. You're waiting to give them your opinion. But sometimes people just need to hear you listen to them. They just want to vent. They just want someone to know that they've been heard, and they just need a listening ear. And again, it's free. It's free. So another free option is to visit the elderly, those that may never have the opportunity to get out, or those who may never get a visitor at all. There are so many elderly who deal with this issue of being alone without anyone coming to see them. And I don't know if you all know this, but we have a high rate of elderly right now, and many of them never get a visitor. So honestly, it may cost you some gas money, but what an impact on the generations who came before us to bring light, hope, and kindness to their lives, who have previously made an impact in this world already. And remember, kindness is free. So those were some free ideas, but here are some ideas that can actually cost you. You could, number one, buy a cup of coffee for someone. That's not that expensive. I mean, wasn't like $1 at McDonald's to buy a cup of coffee for somebody? I mean, that's not that bad, you know. Walk up to somebody, would you like a cup of coffee? And go ahead and purchase it for them while you're there. You could visit someone you may know who is sick and bring them some soup and crackers or cards to play with or a book to read while they're sick. You could pay for the next person in line's food, or pay for a toll, pay for someone's gas, or pay for their groceries. You could help someone out in need in any financial way that they need. You could host Pay It Forward activities in your office, school, church, or community and become a Pay It Forward ambassador and help raise awareness in your circles of influence. You could also do this other thing, which is go on all of your social media. And I'm going to come back to this, but really quick. Everybody smile with me. There we go. Now, I'm going to post that to my social media, #StandForKindness. I will. Or you could donate to a worthwhile cause such as Red Cross, American Heart Association, Be the Match, Boys and Girls Club of America, food banks, etc. And in the end, be creative. Get out there as soon as you leave here today, guys, and spread kindness today on Pay It Forward Day. But promise me one thing. Please, 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 please promise me this one thing. And if anything, promise it to yourself. Promise yourself that you're going to make a vow to impact this world daily. Not yearly, not monthly, but daily, by spreading kindness. Give a smile. Encourage someone. Give hope to someone, listen to someone, empower someone, give some encouraging words to someone, love on someone. If you choose, it can be free, and you can give that empower impact. You can actually empower, impact, and change a life, and you can even possibly save a life. Happy Pay It Forward Day, everyone, and don't forget, #StandForKindness. Love you guys.
Let's give her a bigger round of applause. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. I would like to bring to the stage a young lady that I had the pleasure of meeting, I guess about almost 2.5, 3 months ago. I was invited to Temecula Valley High School to speak to the ASB, AVID, Interact, all together. And it was one person in that really, really caught my attention because she showed tremendous leadership ability, and she was calm throughout all of this. And I was thinking that this young lady had to be a senior or maybe the teacher. She's incredible. And then, it's amazing how things work. I interviewed for RILA. I interviewed a lot of students to attend RILA. Guess who was the first student that they sent in there to me. The same young lady that you're about to chat with in a minute. But she's an incredible leader. She's a junior. She attends Temecula Valley High School, and she is the president of their Interact Club as a junior. And she will be the president next year and a part of ASB and AVIN and all of those great programs. Without any further delay, let's bring to the stage my youth guest speaker, Courtney Baker.
Hi everyone, I'm Courtney. Now I actually don't go to Temecula Valley. Little mistake, it's totally okay. I actually go.
I gotta correct that one. No, that's on me. TV, I do get invited to TV a lot, Temecula Valley. But this is my other school, Linfield Christian Academy. Linfield Christian Academy. Thanks for correcting me. You know what? Remember the saying, dream big, think big, what? Be big at everything that you do. That's how it works. So let's do this without any further delay from Linfield Christian Academy, Courtney Baker.
Hello again, everybody. So yes, I am a junior at Linfield. I am president of Interact. This is my first year being president. It has been such a privilege. I have loved every minute of it. I have amazing teachers behind me, amazing students, but I'm not always this big person who wants to go and lead everyone. When I was younger, I didn't talk to people. I was bullied. I did not have friends. It wasn't until my sophomore year, which was last year, that I actually started making really good friends. I have 2 amazing friends right now who are pretty much my rock. They help me through everything, and they've kind of propelled me forward to say that, hey, you can do this. Not everything's going to be easy. It's not always going to be the most fun, but you gotta do it. I am very shy. This is something that I would not ever think of doing, but I knew I needed to do it. And so I kind of used them as my rock to say, hey, you can do it. You're going to be fine. And then another big role in my life is my animals. I love animals. I have a passion for them. I have a horse who I've owned for 7 years. He is everything to me. He has made me the person I am. He has taught me responsibility and how to be humble. He does everything for me. If I'm having a bad day, I go out there and I sit with him. I just sit there, and he looks at me with those big brown eyes and says, "You're fine, Mom." And so I think definitely you need something in your life, whether it's friends, animals, your family, to be your comfort and say that you can go out, and it's gonna be hard, but you need to do this. So yes, when I was asked to be president of Interact, my favorite teacher came and asked me, she's like, "Hey, I really want you to do this. I think you're going to be great at it." And I was like, okay, sure, I'll give it a try. And it has been amazing. I've seen amazing ways. Yes, I'm at a Christian school. I have seen God work amazing ways in my life. He has given me the support. He says, "You're fine. Go and do this." And he's honestly given us so many opportunities to go and help the community. For Easter, we sent 500 eggs down for an Easter egg hunt at an orphanage in Mexico on our house build missions trip. He has, what was the other one? He's helped us do Operation Christmas Child, and we collect and we send packages to orphanages in Africa for the kids for Christmas since they don't have anything. He will provide, and he's provided in my life to give me the confidence to go out, and he's provided me with a hard work ethic. I'm able to go and do things even though I don't want to sometimes and say, I'm going to get it done, and I'm going to do it with a smile on my face, and it ends up being the best time of my life that I never thought I would do. Yeah, so I would say even if you don't want to do it, there's a reason that it's being put in front of you. There's a reason that people have brought it to your attention that you need to do, and you've been presented with opportunities. Take those opportunities, make the best out of it, do it with a smile on your face, even if you're scared out of your mind. It'll be okay. You will live, I promise. Just make it a good time and nothing bad will happen. There's nothing wrong with just going out, having a good time. It's okay if you fail. There are things I've done and I've walked away from saying, what the heck was I thinking? I'm never doing that again. But I've also taken those opportunities to say, what can I learn from that? What was the takeaway? Why did God put me in that situation? To learn, was it to say, hey, I don't want to be that kind of person. I don't want to portray myself like that. I need a reality check to look at me and say, hey, take a step back, humble yourself. And yeah, so do everything with a smile on your face. Give it all your effort. Nothing's going to go wrong if you give it 100%. You're not going to be disappointed in yourself. There's no way that you can possibly be mad at yourself for saying, I gave it the best that I possibly could. Just walk away from things going, I gave it 100. I did the best I could, and I had fun doing it. So, yeah.
Thanks so much. Let's give her another round of applause. Wow. You know, my youth, and adults, but my youth, you always have an opportunity at my program to come up and tell your story. And so I'm going to be asking, maybe later on today, but I'm also going to be asking for youth guest speakers. This is the best way to get in front of your peers and others and actually express yourself and feel good about yourself, and, you know, also get the experience of public speaking, because you're going to need it throughout life if you're going to be leaders. I want to bring to the floor this person right here. I know pretty well. You know, she's the backbone and the foundation of me. She keeps me focused. And I tell you, I could not ask for a better best friend in the world. Someone that knows good, bad, endeavoring, and all these things, and she still loves me for who I am. Wow. She's going to come up here and talk to you guys about a few things. Without any further delay, my beautiful wife, Michelle Cooley.
Thank you, everybody. Oh, thank you, everybody. I was looking at some articles to read to kind of relate to, especially with the youth, and even adults too, who are currently in school. I just finished my MBA, and I'll be graduating next week, so I'm pretty excited about that. But it took me a long time from undergrad to go to grad, so there's a lot of things I had to learn along the way, especially about doing homework. So I saw this article, and there's a couple of ways to improve your grades if you're underperforming in your school studies. So one of the first things to do is basically adopt a positive mental attitude. My husband spoke about attitude. It's very important when you're doing your homework, your schoolwork, or if you're going into class. You have to have an attitude of, I'm going to learn. I'm going to find something exciting about this class, about this course. Like for me, I hated history class. I thought it was the most boringest thing. And But I think back then, if I had a better attitude about it, I would have really appreciated history for what it is. The second thing is work out where you're falling short. If there's a certain class that you're not making the grades that you know you can make, figure out why. Maybe it's your attention span. Maybe you're not really understanding the coursework. So you kind of have to write down the areas of at least that class or maybe classes where you're falling short. Talk to your teachers. Teachers are a great resource. I know that there are a lot of classrooms that, full with a lot of students, but your teachers are there to instruct you and to help you, especially when you need your grades to improve. Pay more attention in class and ask questions. I know some people like sitting at the back of the class, maybe where their friends are, but if you're really going to truly learn and do your best, try sitting in an area in the classroom where you know you're not going to be distracted and where you're going to focus. Start organizing your life. Homework. We all have homework. So you have to figure out what is the best day to do your homework. Some people, and this is very rare, some people do their best at the last minute, but a majority of people do their best when they give themselves a big time span. So if something's due, let's say on Friday, don't wait to Wednesday or Thursday to do it, because you may not understand what you're doing or you may not give your very best. Improve your note-taking skills. Don't just wait on your friend to take great notes because you know they take great notes. Take notes for yourself. Make sure you understand your notes, because there have been plenty of times when I scribble something and then later on I'm like, what did that say? What did that mean? So you really have to jot down your notes to make sure you're understanding exactly what the teacher is saying. Improve your essay writing skills. One of the most important things I did as an MBA student was when I did essays, in which we do a lot. Let's say there's a word I want to use. I Google, let's say, a synonym of that word and try to use different words. So try to expand your vocabulary and maybe not use the same basic general words that you're used to. Let's see. Find the right learning style for you. Everyone's learning style is a little different. For me, my learning style is basically I need to have everything off at certain times. Sometimes I can study and do my work with noise. That's how I've always been. I need noise in order to concentrate. Some people need quiet. I'm not the type of person who needs quiet. I need something going. I'm not paying attention to the noise. I just need something going, as far as except for dead silence, in order to learn properly. Improve your memory. Maybe go over certain concepts or certain laws or rules regarding specific class. Stop procrastinating. Like I said before, don't wait till the last minute to do your homework. Allow plenty of time for revision. And as you know, when you're writing essays, there are plenty revisions to do. There might be a grammatical error, and sometimes spell check is not going to correct everything. So what I normally do is, I know, you type the word on your computer. I like to print out my essays because I need to look at a hard copy and go through it page by page. Or sometimes I'll ask my husband to look at it and see where I'm falling short. Make learning more fun. Go into learning as an opportunity to expand your knowledge. It may not be your favorite class, but there's always something you're going to take away from it and use later in life. And if you're not really understanding a class, hire a tutor. There is no shame in getting help. If you don't understand something, if your teacher's not available, find a student in that class who you know is getting great grades in that class and ask them for help. Make sure you set time aside where you're available, of course, but also that fits their schedule. Go and ask for tutoring. That is very important, especially where you're really falling short, because you have all these options available to you. Do not be ashamed to ask for help. And last but not least, if you want to improve your grades, sometimes there's summer school courses available in order for you to take extra classes and get extra credit. So one of the most important things I learned from reading this and just finishing my MBA is that you have to look at learning as an opportunity not only to better yourself, but an opportunity to expand your knowledge and also to use this knowledge one day in life. Thank you.
Most important, what she's telling you is, encouraging you to take the time, be big. If you're struggling, if you're missing out on studying, etc. My wife is a stickler just like I am for education. I'm going to tell you, I went to school for 35 years. 35 years. And said, well, you're a professional student. No. I went to school because if I did not know something, if I was having a conversation with someone, and most of the time we like to pretend like we know everything. If I don't know something, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to say, hey, I might not be there right now, but give me a little bit. It might take me a year or so to come back. When I come back, I done pretty much mastered that subject. Yeah. So education is important. Education is important in life. Education is important on decision making. Education to me is important. And academically, it's not always the answer. Education in general. You get educated by situations and circumstances. You get educated by listening to others. There's a saying that, if we listen, God, gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. He gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. That means we should listen more than we talk. Hey, this is the time of the program that I like. How many seniors do we have in here? How many seniors? I know we got one. Because I just gave her a scholarship, and she is extremely deserving of that scholarship. And payback, she's gonna have to come up here and educate the juniors and the underclassmen a little bit on what it took for her to get to where she's at today. I think she's an amazing young lady. Alicia Wynn, come on up to the stage. And juniors, get ready. You're next.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alicia Williams. I go to Chaparral High School. I'm a senior. I'm going to be attending California Lutheran University on a scholarship, academics, and stuff like that. So one advice I'd give to the juniors and underclassmen in high school is one way that helped me become successful throughout the course of my years was to really believe in myself. You could take advice from anyone, but one thing that I truly believe is that it starts with you. You can't really move on with success in your life without believing in yourself. For example, this year I tried out to be an alumni at RILA, and it was really hard for me to put myself out there, but talking to my mom and her telling me that I'm worthy of this position is what really helped me. You can't do anything in your life without believing that you're worthy. How are you going to give 100% if you feel like, hey, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can push myself. It starts with you. And so that's my biggest advice for you juniors, to really take on the next year in your high school. Senior year is definitely not the year to be messing around. That's one thing that I learned. A lot of people have told me, senior year, it's the easiest year of your life, but it definitely is not. I went through a lot of stress this year with college applications, and you're finishing your SATs and your ACTs, and what really pulled me through was believing in myself. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. Juniors, stand up. Sophomores? Can I get all of you all to come up here? First of all, I want the juniors and sophomores on this side. I want the seniors to stay here. I want you all to look at this senior, eye to eye, and tell this senior, Madam Senior, I am ready.
I am ready.
Come on now. I am ready.
I am ready.
I'm ready to be a leader.
I'm ready to be a leader.
Please pass the throne down to me.
Please pass the phone down to me.
I am ready.
I am ready.
Touch each one of them on the shoulder. K-Man, you're going to start this off. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I had an opportunity to get to know this young man quite well. Last week, he was one of my riolettes. And I'm fortunate enough to, have gotten him because I learned a lot from him. And he know what the expectations are. And he's going to tell you a little bit about himself, just a little bit. You got about a minute and a half. A little bit about himself that you're going to find out. You're going to be in shock because you can do the exact same thing that this young man is doing.
My name is Caden. I'm a junior. I go to TCHS, Temescal Canyon High School. I started a very young age. I became a Boy Scout at a very young age. I grew up all around Boy Scouts. I have been in Boy Scouts for about 13 years now. I came into the Boy Scout program. I accelerated. I go camping all the time. We went, and I became one of the youngest Eagle Scouts known around the Lake Elsinore region. I became an Eagle Scout at 14 years old. The average is about 18. That's the highest that you can get it. I have also registered to be the Scout of the Year. And so I passed. It started off in our troop level. So I started off with the troop around the area. And then it went to the district. And so the district level and then the state level as well. So I'm very proud of that. Also, I am actively involved in high school. I started out in the IB program, the International Baccalaureate. It's tied in with AP. It does 2-year courses that are rigorous, and it's for education all around the world for English, history, science, all kinds of subjects. I've taken 7 years of Spanish. I fluently speak it. Also, I have been involved in other AP courses for outside classes as well. I am attending Saracoso over the summer for college for calculus. And I want you all to know that everything that I've been involved in, track and cross country as well for sports on the side. Every single thing that I have done, I want you all to know that you all can do it too. It's not a matter of, I can't do it because I'm this or I can't do it because I'm that. It doesn't matter what others tell you too. You have the true commitment and the true heart. You can do anything you set your mind to.
We've got another senior over here. And now, Courtney, just tell them a little bit about what your expectations is. I'm talking about you're going to be a senior next year and some goals that you're setting for yourself.
Okay, I am going to be a senior next year. I am at a college prep school. It is extremely rigorous. I am this year in 3 APs, and I will be in 2 APs next year. One of them is in a subject that I do not do well in. It is AP Literature that I'm going to be taking next year. I am not an English person, but I'm going to challenge myself. I said I can do this, and I'm going to give it a shot. It's not going to be easy, and I know that. I'm going to give it the best that I can, though, and then hopefully from there, I am hopefully going to go to Point Loma for college. I'd love to be down there. But I know next year I've got to give it all I can so that I can go further in this world and do what I want to do.
Oh. You got to be ready. Oh, God. Just tell me what's your name?
Dominique Riley.
Dominique, tell us a little bit about you.
I'm a sophomore at Vista Marietta High School, and I do track and field, and
What is your expectation? What do you plan on doing when you? I mean, a little bit more.
Okay, I plan on going to UCSD and becoming an RN and eventually becoming a nurse and majoring in health in college. So.
And how are you going to do those things? Just tell me one thing that you got to do in order to achieve that.
Get good grades in school and put my best effort forward.
Love it. Love it. Tell us, what's your name?
My name is Malik Williamson.
Malik. Okay, so what school do you attend?
Temecula Valley.
Let the camera. So what are some of the things that you do at Temecula Valley?
I play football and run track.
And what is the commitment level? What do you have to do to make sure that you can be competitive at that level?
Go to practice every day.
And also have the right what?
Mindset.
And what's that thing that we talked about earlier? It's called, it starts with an A.
Attitude.
Attitude, commitment. So football player, track. What is your expectations? What you want to do when you become grown?
Go to a good college.
And how are you going to do that? What you going to do in order to make that happen?
Get good grades. And listen to my parents.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's give him a hand. I think we got somebody back here trying to hide a little bit. Who are you, young lady?
My name is Milan Perry.
Tell us a little bit about you, Milan.
I'm a sophomore.
Come on up here. Come on up here.
I'm a sophomore at Vista Marietta High School. I do track and field, volleyball. I take AP classes, and I'm in the Link Crew program.
Wow, that's a lot. What is your expectations when you grow up?
I definitely want to go to college. I don't know what I want to do yet, but I want to be really successful in life because that's important.
And how are you going to do that?
Definitely stay involved in what I enjoy and stay focused and have a good mindset.
You heard that word focus, right? You heard that word focus, right? Focus. If you don't remember anything from this program, remember the word focus. Thank you. Oh, you trying to hide back there. No. Who are you, young lady?
I'm Catherine Ortiz.
Come on up here. Come on up here. Tell us a little bit about you, Catherine.
I'm from Marietta Valley High School, and I don't really play sports, but I'm very passionate about art. It's a really cool thing for me to do because I'm very creative and open-minded about it.
Tell us a little bit about, what type of art?
I usually draw a lot, but I really like to paint too. So painting is a lot of fun, and it's kind of complicated, but you can still learn as you go.
Tell us what, when you become as you age, what do you want to do?
I definitely want to go to college and probably do something that involves of my creativity and maybe show a little passion about it.
Wow. Let's give all of them a round of applause. Thanks so much. I got some other kids out here that kind of sitting to the side. Anybody want to say anything? You? How are you doing, young lady? Oh, Ashley. Your name? What is your name?
Presley.
Presley. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Presley.
I'm 12 years old. I'm in 6th grade, and I go to Margarita Middle School, and I'm a horseback rider.
Oh, how long have you been a horseback rider?
Almost 4 years now.
What is your greatest thing about riding a horse or communicating with a horse? We heard Courtney said that her horse is her best friend. And do you have that same type of relationship with some animals?
No.
She's making this one tough, ain't she? Hey, thanks so much. How are you doing? What's your name?
Delaney.
Delaney. How old are you, Delaney?
10.
Tell us a little bit about you, Delaney.
Well, I'm in 5th grade. I go to Rancho Elementary School. I play basketball and soccer.
What you want to do when you grow up? Because we grow a little bit every day.
I want to be a U.S. women's soccer player.
All righty. Can I get a couple of others? I'm coming.
Hi, I'm Karina Ortiz. I am going to her high school, Marietta Valley, and I'm in all advanced classes. I'm currently in a high school advanced class. I just made the high school cheerleading team, and I want to be a pharmaceutical scientist.
All righty.
Hi, I'm Jade Coombs. I'm an 8th grader at Temecula Middle School. I'm going to TV, or Temecula Valley, and I play volleyball and dance, and I just made the high school dance team.
All right. You know what? We got a lot of talented folks in here.
Hi, I'm Brianna.
How you doing, Brianna?
Good.
Tell us a little bit about you, Brianna.
I'm 11. I'm in 5th grade, and I go to Paloma Elementary School.
What is your favorite subject there?
Science.
All righty. I see a couple of people back here that are hanging over in the corner. Bear with me.
Oh, Lord. Hi, I'm Irie. I'm a freshman. I go to Vista Marietta. My passion is basketball, but I want to collaborate with others and design with like engineering, putting prosthetic arms together so they could play in the big leagues, and that way I would be able to play at the same time and design. So.
Wow, that's incredible.
My name is Isaiah. I go to Chavela High School. I am in 6th grade, and my passion is music. And my future is I want to be a musician.
Wow, right on. Oh, I was hoping that you were going to do that.
My name is Daryl, and I go to Chavela Middle School. I am in 6th grade. I like to play basketball, football, and I want to do track. And my main goal right now is to get my grades up and go to high school and college and be successful.
Did you listen to what Michelle was saying about how you get your grades up?
Sort of.
We're probably going to do that again, but thanks a lot for standing up. That's courage. I like it.
Oof. I'm Devin. I am 10 years old. I go to Rail Ranch Elementary School in Marietta. I want to grow up to be a basketball player, and I'm an engineer. I build things out of cardboard sometimes, and I pretty much basically like basketball the most.
All righty. Did I miss somebody in here? Oh, I see somebody toward the back. Oh. Hey, can we get him up here for a second? Oh. Just when you were getting ready to talk on the phone. How you doing? Who are you, son?
My name is Jalen.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I go to Chaparral High School. I play on the freshman basketball team. And, yeah, that's probably it.
So, what is your expectation? What you plan on doing when you grow up?
I want to go to a real estate school.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's give all of these young men and women a round of applause. You got to be seated. Coming to the end of the program, wow. This is a heartbreaker because this has been very rewarding. I have really, really enjoyed this. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Every time we have a function, this is how we do it. We do it big or we don't what? We do it big or we don't what? You do it big or don't do it at all. Commitment. Remember the ACE. I want to lead this with the ACE. Attitude. You got to have the right attitude about everything that you do. Do not tell anybody that you're going to do something unless you are committed. But in order to be committed, you have to be committed to yourself. Yourself. You can't not be committed to anything unless you're committed to yourself and doing the best that you can be. Last but not least, Be excited about everything that you do. A lot of times we get assignments or tasks or whatever you might want to call it, and we go in with a bad attitude. Then we figure out, wow, this wasn't that bad. I learned something from this. I learned something from this. Be excited about whatever it is, regardless how big or how small it is. Be excited. Last but not least, we must get back to this thing called respect. We must get back to this thing called respect. Respect. Respect starts with oneself. But we have to be respectful for others. Young men, you know, pulling a chair out or holding the door for a young lady or whatever, anybody, that's a requirement. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, courteous. That's a requirement. Young ladies, giving all that you can, being committed to self-growth, not trying to be like your best friend or whoever that is that's so cool. Because cool, you start walking like, you start doing all these things like, oh, that's cool. Let me tell you, cool is not going to get you anywhere when you graduate from high school. You graduate from high school, you cool. You walk up, you don't walk down the aisle, you walking, cool. What's wrong? That person, what's wrong with that person? Well, I was cool in high school. Leave that cool alone. Don't try to be like nobody else. Be yourself. Be yourself. Aspire. Aspire. Everybody said, I asked the question, what are you planning on doing? So that means you are aspiring to be that particular thing that you want to do. But in order to get there, you must have been inspired by something. Something inspired you to move in that direction. But in order to get there, it's going to require you to perspire. Admiration comes from inspiration, but it requires perspiration. You got to work. Thank you very much. Our next program, we're going to do a program next month. I haven't chose the date yet, but that will be coming out real soon. Your high schools or middle schools or whatever, I don't have a problem in coming speaking, or if your principal or your ASB or whoever else get in touch with me. If it fits my schedule right now, I'm touring. I'm speaking at all the high schools, a lot of the middle schools, a lot of the colleges, etc. And we got a lot of other things going on. But you know what? Just by you coming to my program, if I'm reached out to and I can work it in there, I would do. Because you can't do unless you want to. You can't do unless you want to. Say that together. You can't do unless you want to. One more time. You can't do unless you want to. You got to want to. Again, I want to remind everybody, this is a very historical moment. It's tough, but you want to learn about history, we ain't talking about black history, we talking about American history. Ain't no such thing as black, white, pink, gold, or purple. America. But in order to know what our history have led us to today, we have to be able to experience it. I encourage you all to come out and watch this play. It's going to be May 6th. It's going to be at the CRC, which is the Ronald Reagan Center. It's going to be inside, opposed to outside. Normally I do things at the amphitheater or at the theater, but we're going to do it inside. And there are always opportunities when we're doing, I do open casting, depending on the play or whatever we're doing. And so if you're involved in the theater, those types of things, you might have opportunity to do that. And open casting goes for everybody. I got my director in here. The director, come here. This is the director of my play. She thought she was going to get away with it. How much time we got? Okay. This is the last message.
Hello, everybody. I truly enjoyed everything that was said, all the young people. I'm Tarsha. My name is Tarsha Joyner, and I am the director of this great play, The Lynching of Effie Childs. This is my first time ever doing anything like this, and it's been amazing so far. I work with a great cast of people. So, like some of you guys, hey, this is my first time. I was nervous at first, but I took it by the bullhorns, and I'm here now, so I'm ready for it. I just want you all to be encouraged with everything the young people are doing, because even for adults, sometimes in life we do things that we've never done either. So I'm excited about this play. I'm excited about all of the actors. They're very committed, and it's a great play. I look forward to seeing everyone come out. Everyone, if you get a chance, come out and see us. You'll be glad you did.
Thanks so much. Any questions from anybody? Any questions? No questions? Thanks so much, everybody.